Namaste students. I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic non-medical cell disruption method, and the first method is physical method. The subject name is downstream processing and the discipline is food and biotechnology. In the previous video, we discussed about the mechanical method of cell disruption. So there are not only the mechanical methods, but are some non-mechanical methods also for the disruption of the cells. In this series, the first method is the physical method of cell disruption. So in this video tutorial, we are going to discuss about the physical method of cell disruption. In the non-mechanical method, that is the physical method of cell disruption, the first method is thermolysis. Okay, in the thermolysis, bacteria and the cells are heated up to 50 degrees centigrade, and some plasmic proteins can be released from E. coli within 10 minutes at 90 degrees. So in this technique, what we do, we give temperature which are not tolerable for the microorganism. So we give the temperature which are higher than actual tolerable capacity of the microorganism. Okay, so some of the microorganisms which can survive a higher temperature, we can give higher temperature for short time. Okay, and at the short time, these microbial cells can be lysed. Okay, so in the for the release of a protein from the microbial cell, we give short high temperature shock. It means we are giving higher temperature for the short time for fewer seconds, and in the fewer seconds proteins can be released out of the cells. The drawback of this method is that the results are very unreliable because the protein solubility change with the temperature fluctuation. The proteins can be soluble in any other thing, other product. So this is the drawback of this method. So what we did, we gave a oven method. We can use the oven method for the heating of the microorganism. And after heating, the cells can be disrupted and the microbial components can come out of the cell. The second method is the decompression. What is the decompression? The cells are mixed with the pressurized subcritical gas, okay, for a short time. So we are giving a gas in higher pressure so that the components of the cell can come out of the cell and cell can get disrupted. The gas enters the cell and expands on release, causing the cell to burst. So due to the fundamental, we know that a particular material can go from higher concentration to low concentration. So these gas move inside the cells, and when the concentration of these gases becomes higher in the cell of the bacteria, the volume of the bacterial cell can also increase. And due to the high increasing of the volume of the cell can burst. Okay. the cell can burst, and the mm, all the materials inside the cell can come out of the cells, including proteins, lipids, cellular components can come out of the cells. What are the advantages of this method? Supercritical CO2 is able to eject of flavors that are caused by lipid components. This method is gentle on cells, resulting in large debris that are easier to remove in the order to obtain desired products. So this is a very helpful and do not require further downstream processing steps. Okay, what are the disadvantages? Using these techniques, there is not a good efficiency. This method is of low efficiency. High dependency of pressure release the time of contact between the cell and suspension of the gas. Next method is the applying osmotic pressure on the cells. In this method, we apply salt concentration so that the cells which can tolerate can come out in the contact with the salt and can be burst with higher concentration of the salt and low concentration of the salts. So they can be died. What is the basis of this method? If we give any material the semi-permeable membrane, through the semi-permeability some materials can pass the cell membrane and can go inside or can uh, pass outside. So if we apply the hypertonic solution, isotonic solution and hypotonic solutions to the cells, okay, then if the concentration of the uh, uh, salts are higher in the environment, in the outer environment, the, then these outer salts can come inside the cell and can burst the cell. If the isotonic substrate we apply, then they can get confused and the cells can burst. And when we apply the hypotonic solution, which is the when the water concentration is when the water concentration of the cell is higher than the outer atmosphere, then the cell, then the salt of the inside parts can move outside because there is a higher concentration inside the cell, not the outside. So the inside material will flow outside and the cell can get tight. Cell can get shrink and will be died. So what are the disadvantages of this method? They are really very low efficient. They require enzymatic pretreatment. They require addition of high amount of salts. They require water usage of is they require the product may be diluted with increased downstream processing cost. So we need some more downstream processing and which can increase the cost of the product. So we are going to discuss some more methods of. So what is the basic of the osmotic source? So we are going to draw it through the diagrammatic representation. Suppose there is a beaker, okay, this is a solution of the salt. Okay, this is a salt solution, and these are our cells, and these are our cells. This is a membrane. Okay, this is a membrane of the cell. If the concentration of salt is higher here, this salt will move inside the cell. Okay, so this is the cell membrane. If the concentration of salt is higher here, okay, so this salt, this this salt will move inside the cell. Okay, and they will the concentration will be higher. Due to this higher concentration, okay, due to higher concentration of the salts, this cell will burst. Okay, this cell will be burst. Similarly, if we are giving a solution, similarly, we are giving a solution in which the salt concentration is low, no salt concentration, and we are giving only water here. We are adding only water here, and these are our cells. Okay, so what happens? The uh, cells have higher concentration of salts. Okay, they have higher concentration of salts. They have higher concentration of salts, and outside the cell, no salt is there. So what will happen? This salt will move outside the cell, and the cell will burst. It will shrink. Okay, after shrinking, the cell will be burst. So due to this reason, we can identify that the osmotic cell can result in the lysis of the cell. Whatever can be hypertonic, isotonic, and hypotonic solution we apply, this, but the cell can be died and can be disrupted using the osmotic imbalance. So it is a simple method. Freezing and thawing. This method is also a physical method, and actually this method is applied for the plant and algae, for the disruption of plant cells and the algal cells. Okay, in this method we freeze the cells and freeze the cells in the thawing cycles. Okay, due to higher due to this freezing and the low temperature, the cells can form some ice crystals, and which will expand upon thawing. And due to this formation of the crystals and thawing, the cell will ultimately rupture. Okay, the cell can be damaged and can die, can be disrupted. So this is also an important example of the cell disruption from physical method. The next method is electrical discharge. So it is also an important method for the cell disruption using the electrical discharge, and it is mainly used for the mammalian cells. What we do is that we apply an electric field to the cells. When the electric field is applied, the cell will go to the exocytosis. Okay, the cell will go exocytosis, and the, a membrane bound cellular materials will be get out of the cell, and the cell will be disrupted. All the materials inside the cells, which are inside the cells through the plasma membrane, and when the plasma membrane will be disrupted due to the electrical shocks, and due to electrical shocks, when the plasma membrane get disrupted, all the cellular intracellular materials can come outside the cells. So uh, this is also important method, and with the use of these all the methods, we can disrupt the cells using the physical methods. Okay, our topic is over here. Now our next topic will be the cell disruption using the chemical method.